Good morning, everybody. I would like to invite you to take note when you become agitated. Now more than ever, this is an invitation I would like to make, but not only for the next 3 months and politically related, but for all your days. I invite you to look at those times and places and take faster notice when you're becoming agitated, irritated, angry, annoyed, offended, and as quickly as you're able, try to press the stop button and do those things that we were taught when we were in preschool and kindergarten when we get angry. Count to 10. Maybe even separate yourself from the offending, irritating, aggravating thing somehow or another, just to get your calm back. If we learn to separate and hit that stop bar quickly, we'll actually start creating a life where we incline away from those triggers and become genuinely, truly more peaceful. But you don't have to do it like the Zen master and just be peaceful all the time. Begin by admitting, as we all of us must do now, that you have some triggers, that you see politicians named Donald or Joe, and you instantly say, grrr. If you already know your opinions about these people, and you already know who you're going to vote for, why are you raising your blood pressure and watching them? Turn that off and go do something valuable, like work in the garden, or cook yourself a really healthy lunch. And take more time and put more love into that salad. You see, you have options. We all have options. We don't have to go to that place and stay there. When that trigger hits, we can immediately shut it down. We get in that habit, the amount of triggers will reduce themselves because we start making life amendment away from them. I have an odd narrative to sort of support how I've been doing this, and I've noticed that it's made a shift in my life. And it's also made my life more fun. And oddly enough, what I wanted to share was something that happened around the 7 Magic Mountains south of Las Vegas. Now, I know some of you know what those are. For those of you who don't, between Las Vegas and the California border, right in the middle of the desert, which you can see from the interstate and is closer to the boulevard, Las Vegas Boulevard, are these stacks of 7 giant boulders that are from the desert, but they've been stacked up. They're 7 little, and they're like 30 or 35 feet tall, and they've been painted in the most garish neon colors. Now, as it turns out, my wife works primarily in Los Angeles, and I work in Las Vegas. You will not be shocked to hear we make this commute a lot on airplanes and cars, and I wish trains, but they stopped the train. The other day, just because we drive it so often, to give ourselves variety, we weren't on the interstate. We drove down Las Vegas Boulevard, south by 10, 12 miles of the Strip, and there are the 7 Magic Mountains. And I looked over at them, and as a desert lover, I said to my wife, but calmly, untriggeredly, I said, I guess I'm the one guy who's politically incorrect enough to say, those things sure are ugly. And she laughed. And of course, once I get somebody laughing, I'm an addict for more laughter. I said, yeah, what's with 7 magic mountains? Who in their right mind would call those little pile of rocks a mountain? That's not a mountain. And there's nothing magic either. I said, the only thing true about the title is the 7. I've got her really laughing enough so that I'm even worried about her staying in the lane. And we're going on and on. But none of this was from a place of bitterness. And we were having fun with, well, what should we name them if only the 7 is true? And of course I said 7 uglies would be more truthful. And I was getting all ecosystem offended too, that the beautiful desert with all its subtle beauty, and it's all the same color. The rabbits, the tortoises, the other little rodents that are smaller, those little mini squirrels, all that same tan, the bunny rabbits. The beauty of the desert so subtle, and here are these huge neon stacks of rocks. Oh, I was really enjoying my offense. And I wasn't triggered. And of course, as soon as the laughter paused, Sharon said, the true diplomat, the very positive thinker, she said, people really like those things. You can see they come from all over the world to stop and take their picture by the 7 magic mountains. And we calmly discussed how that was true. And the reason I knew she was truthful about that is she and I had 5 months ago or 6 months ago stopped at the same magic mountains and taken pictures and had a blast. And full disclosure, I even Googled the 7 magic mountains, and the artist said that was the intention, to create something that somehow bridged the energy of the interstate, which is so not desert, which is so busy, with the calm stillness of the desert, and that he was very intentional and aware of creating this bridge between the two. That's what true art does, and that's how we as artists can live untriggered, but open and aware to what's happening around us. When we're triggered by something, we don't actually any longer remain open to what's really going on. When we have people say things that we totally disagree with or frighten us, at that moment we close up to life. We're not living. So, the number one thing to do is to arrest that immediately. Had my wife been triggered by what I said, I would have immediately shut it down. The only reason I went on so long is because I was making her laugh. And I wasn't that invested. 7 magic mountains are magic in a certain way. Like true art, it created a healthy dialogue without hate, without triggers, without prejudice. And that's what we can have in our life, is a view of more of where is their dialogue, where is there something to learn, where is their joy, where is their goodness. When we're feeling our souls or minds being dragged away, as soon as we have that trigger, what I say is hit the stop button. And like a pastor, I'm going to say, if you need help hitting that stop button, ask God. Say, God, give me calm. God, give me peace. God, be in my next breath. I know this agitation, this defensiveness, this anger is not of you, and it's not your desire. So let's not do it. All right. Thanks, everybody. God bless.